My name is Marina, and I'm from Spain. This is my story about learning English through my personal experience. I was young when my father sent me to London to study English literature. I loved it and read a lot about William Shakespeare. I would buy any translated Shakespeare novel or story, hoping that one day I would be able to read his masterpieces in their original language. But at that time, English felt like a locked door. Whenever I watched an English-language film, I understood very little of the dialogue, so I depended on subtitles to understand what was happening. My hobbies included watching films, especially American action and science fiction movies, but I didn't really like movies that were violent. I absolutely hated horror films, especially those filled with gore or zombies. They made me close my eyes more than watch the screen. I moved to London of my own volition, but my father had a big role in encouraging me. He loved me deeply and did everything he could to please me and secure my future. He always told me, "Marina, do what you love and stay away from what you hate so you can succeed in life." So I followed his advice. I chose to study English literature, and my dream was to work as an English teacher. Getting lost in translation. When I arrived in London, everyone seemed to speak fluent English, everyone except me and a few other foreigners who had come to study or work. People spoke dozens of different languages around me, and sometimes I felt like I had landed on another planet. The first challenge happened at the hotel. The receptionist asked me, "Do you want a room with 1 or 2 beds?" I stared at her, completely silent. My mind froze. I had no idea what she had asked. So I quickly grabbed my phone from my pocket, typed her words into Google Translate, and suddenly everything made sense. 1 bed, I answered proudly. I'm alone. No one with me. She smiled kindly and asked, "Would you like breakfast in your room or in the hotel restaurant?" I hesitated again, another sentence I didn't understand. Back to Google Translate. And once again, the answer appeared clearly, in the restaurant. The taxi driver who believed in me. The next day, on my way to class, I got into a taxi. I wanted to ask the driver how much the ride would cost, but my English failed me again. "How much, you want?" I muttered awkwardly. He looked at me with confusion. Great, I thought. Another Google moment. I typed the Spanish sentence into Google Translate, and out came the correct English. "How much do you want for the ride?" The driver burst out laughing, not in a rude way, but in a warm, friendly way. "You're smart," he told me. "And you did the right thing. I promise you'll learn English faster than others." I laughed too, relieved. I asked him again, this time correctly, and he told me the price. After I paid him, I asked whether he could drive me to my lessons every day. He didn't understand my Spanish accented English, so I used Google Translate again. "Yes, no problem," he said. "I'm at your service." And from that day on, he became my unofficial daily driver and my first friend in London. From beginner to fluent. In class, the teacher explained everything slowly and clearly, but sometimes I still struggled. Whenever I heard a word I didn't recognize, I opened Google Translate like it was my secret weapon. Day by day, word by word, sentence by sentence, something magical happened. English stopped being a locked door. English stopped being a locked door. It began to open. A little at first, then more and more. I practiced with my classmates, spoke with the receptionist, chatted with the taxi driver, and listened closely to my professor. I even tried to watch movies without subtitles, at least the non-horror ones. Now, I am almost finished studying English literature. I've learned so much, and I can speak English fluently with my professor and with everyone around me. And every time I read Shakespeare in his original English, I smile and remember the young girl who depended on her phone for every sentence. Gratitude in 2 languages. I'm grateful to my father for believing in me. I'm grateful to my teachers for guiding me. And honestly, I'm grateful to Google. It wasn't just an app, it was my bridge between 2 worlds. Thanks to it, I didn't just learn English. I found confidence, independence, and a future I had always dreamed of.